Advancing your career in product management is like building a skyscraper. You need a solid foundation, detailed blueprints, and the right tools to reach each higher floor. And get ready to see the essential blueprint to elevate your career and rise to the top in this episode. Now, Malte Scholz, the co-founder, CEO, and CPO of Air Focus, is going to be with us today, and he's going to be sharing strategies and insights to transform your approach to product management and drive success in your team and your career on this episode of Product Team Success, which has been brought to you by our friends at Amplitude. Now, Malte will be highlighting the path and skills that you are going to need the most in your career. Coming up in this episode, the rise of product ops, the impact of tooling, and insight-driven product management, and the challenges faced by product managers, and multi-product road mapping insights and road mapping tools. Now, Malte, I'm really excited to hear your insights into road mapping. But first, how do you view the rise of product ops and its impact on product management teams?
Yeah, first of all, I'm also a supporter of the rise of product ops. I think overall it's a good thing, but again, it should be seen as a tool that should be used wisely, because what I think we all collectively have also seen is to the kind of too big of an extension of these product organizations, where you have like so many more stakeholders, and then you have like all that complexity, and then nobody gets stuff done anymore. And then now the reversion to the mean in the last years, where kind of complete hierarchy levels got cut off, product managers kind of having to do more of the end-to-end. Maybe take the Airbnb example, right? Calling it getting rid of product managers, but really it's making product managers go really end-to-end from the very beginning to also launching stuff commercially. And yeah, and I think that in the same category is product ops also a bit. It can be when installed correctly and kind of understood correctly, it can be such an elevating function to unlock the product managers, because it makes no sense. I mean, whoever has done product work knows that you can easily spend hours on like solving meaningless little tooling issues because just something is wrong. You find a bug, or like going through customer feedback or organizing all of that stuff. And it's again a little bit crazy that product organizations don't have that, right? That it's only coming now. Think about other departments like sales, right? They have revenue ops for years, because they understand you don't want the account executive and salespeople to fix HubSpot. Doesn't make sense. There should be people to do this much better and more professional. And the same is true for high functioning product organizations. But I think there's also a risk in installing and understanding product ops incorrectly, where it's then kind of a shield for the product leaders to kind of cover their ass, or not make decisions, or find someone to blame. You really want them to empower the product managers. That's in my opinion the first role. So make sure they have access to the customers, have access to the data, have access to the stakeholders, and all of that in direct access. And that alone is like a tricky part. Most product organizations that I've seen, no product manager has access to all of these in like a seamless way. And and I'm a big fan of also the content and the whole frameworks around product ops. And there are great people like Antonia Landi. She's doing great work around these topics, and it's really cool to see.
Malte, thanks so much for sharing that. That was great. Now, how crucial is the role of product tooling and tools that product managers use in achieving success?
Product's hard, right? It's and unfortunately, it's not as easy as just using our tool in order to build great products and kind of move to the product operating model, however you want to call it. But product tooling plays a critical role in in all of that, but it needs to go in tandem with establishing a culture, principles, even processes. Some people hate processes, but I think to an extent processes are important. And then obviously you need to have the good people and the strong product leadership. But product tools can really, when you have like a good level for all of the other things, product tool can really elevate you to a completely new level, because it's a bit crazy that product teams don't have a single source of record. They still kind of at some point move to Jira for delivery and task management and so on. But like before that and after that, there's not this one entity in the database that you refer to and that you reference all the time. And it's like information spread out. It's a lot of duplicate work. And you cannot believe how many of the companies that we talk to where the product people spend like 30-40% of their time just like creating targeted custom audience roadmaps for different stakeholders, manually copy pasting, and feels a little bit like this should not be happening. And I think the high level thing that you want with tooling is you want to win back time for your product people to think about strategy, have these tough, hard conversations, and talk to customers and just do the right thing. Which is hard enough, as we as builders all know, right? It's very difficult to build the right product. And if you're just busy and frustrated all day with repetitive work, it doesn't help. And then where they can specifically help is around aligning different teams and different products in these like large organizations. Yeah, because silos are a reality, and I think this is also where we differ. I think you have to just accept that there are certain silos, and it's not always bad. I mean, silo has a negative connotation, but you at the same hand, everyone talks about empowered product teams, which is also a bit of a definition of a silo, right? You want someone to be like very focused and autonomous and be able to move fast. But at the same time, you want to align all these cross-functional teams around a shared strategy, a shared strategic roadmap, and you want to spot. You mentioned dependencies earlier. It's also part of the game, right? Part of product management is project management, and this means like allocating resources, spotting these dependencies, and making sure you actually deliver.
I love that. What perspectives could you share on developing and implementing a truly effective insight-driven product strategy?
We kind of say in order to be successful, you need to have a solid product strategy, usually kind of outlined in strong OKRs and product roadmaps that are more just a list of features with dates on it. You need to be kind of customer-centric by really forcing yourself to look at customer feedback and kind of generate these actionable insights that help you make these customer-centric decisions. And then thirdly, you want to have empowered product teams. These are the three success criteria for us. And they're like all important, and you need to find the right mix for your team that works for you. And with regards to strategy, I've learned a lot myself over the last years, because I was kind of also forced as the CEO of this company to work on strategy. And to me, it's like a lot is in my head, and a big part of strategy is writing it down and communicating it to the people, and then repeating it all the time. But I tend to get inspired by not just the product books and the product methodologies around product strategy. I tend to also get inspired by stuff left and right. Like I'm a huge fan of the April Dunford, obviously awesome book, because it's such a beautiful concept around positioning, and at the end of the day, it always comes down to positioning and who are you, why are you special, what's your audience, and how you uniquely address this audience in a narrow, targeted way, and that is kind of where it all starts. And you have like all these questions around really getting to the bottom of each of these topics. Yeah, like who really is the ICP and how really can I validate who this person is, and then breaking that down into like a system that automatically helps you make better decisions every day, and not just like me as like someone who's more looking at on the strategy level and thinking about like midterm bigger initiatives, but also like the product managers who work on daily problems. Yeah. But at the same time, obviously what we're doing is quite different to how product strategy is done in large organizations. Yeah. Because we have prospects or customers that come to us that have like 600 PowerPoint slides every 6 months where they kind of align product strategy around like 50 products. It's crazy, right? Like who can digest 600 PowerPoint slides? I mean, what's the purpose here?
Following on from that, how have you seen product management teams evolve in their approach to product strategy and also discovery?
Yeah, so we have different types of customers, right? We have customers who are quite advanced, and they do most of the things around modern product management, right? Like insight-driven product development. They have a product strategy written down. They make sure to kind of break that down into OKRs, and they not just write them down, but they also live them. They then have product roadmaps that are really more like now next later roadmaps, and then they run proper discovery. So we have customers that do that, and they use Air Focus for that. But we also have customers that are very much still in the project mindset. Again, Marty Kagan, you know, this would call these feature teams. And I'm again more like a real world guy. I have empathy with these people because you have to meet the people where they are, and to me it's not like helpful going there telling them, hey, you're not doing it right. Instead, let's elevate them to like the next step, the next level on their journey to a more modern product management way. That's one. And on the other hand, also sometimes you just know very precisely and you know very well what you need to build. And so being in feature mode, being in a mode of a feature team is fine, right? If you just acquired another company and it's about like integrating them, it's very clear what to do. You don't need to run a discovery on that. It's getting stuff done and organizing things, and that's for a lot of what product organizations do. It's reality. Not everyone is working on that completely unsolved riddle where you have to run extensive product discovery. But again, you need to have a toolbox that you can apply for the product organization. In terms of your question, what I have seen change is that these more project-oriented teams, they kind of also understand that for the more harder problems where you require modern product management and product strategy and product discovery, this is where where they lack skills, and they're really trying very hard, also with outside consultant, maybe people like you, to move to this like more modern way of working. And very often this starts with just moving the timeline Gantt chart to a next later roadmap, maybe doing it in parallel for some time, which is again fine, right? Like start somewhere and develop, and then maybe in terms of insight-driven product development, which I'm a huge fan. I think it's crazy to not centralize feedback from Intercom, Salesforce, G2, the iTunes reviews. Like it's crazy to not centralize all of that and then have an AI look at it, or some product manager or product ops person look at it and try to kind of link it to the product work, because how else are you supposed to make product decisions? And you have no idea how many companies don't do that. Like they get customer feedback and then they immediately create a Jira ticket and then build this thing. It's crazy. But we see these companies understanding modern product management more and more. So project managers becoming product managers, or kind of transitioning to the new definition of this job. And then in baby steps, starting to implement these things. And that's where there's also this huge hunger for how should stuff be done. And I think my role a little bit with our flexible toolbox is to kind of be the moderator in the middle to say, hey, there are these best practices, but you don't have to do all of that right now. You maybe don't even have to do all of that ever, but like pick the right tools for you. And it's fine if you're just like filling 14 out of the 20 product principles by Muddy Cake. It's fine. I think really that's fine, depending on the setup and the problem that you face.
Malte, could you share your insights on multi-product road mapping, including what you've learned and how it benefits product teams and leadership in managing dependencies and aligning strategies?
Multi-product road mapping has really become like the core thing that we solve. Interestingly, that's not how we got started, and it's not like something that you wake up one day and say, "Oh, we're doing multi-product road mapping." But when we talk to customers and we ask them, "Hey, what problems are we solving for you, and like how can we help you?" And so on. It's always around like, okay, we have different teams, different divisions, different products. Yeah. So these little units that ideally are empowered and autonomously drive decisions. And they have their roadmaps and they do all of that stuff. But at the same time, you have kind of leadership in the middle, maybe CPO and C-level on the top. And you need to have like an information communication stream that goes like top down as well as bottom up, and these roadmaps need to talk to each other, and you need different versions of these roadmaps without again spending so much time on like creating this manually in PowerPoint and sheets. And this is also where Air Focus then comes in as a kind of platform that centralizes all of these roadmaps, all of the product management work, and then allows the leadership as well as the product managers to slice and dice the information, so everyone gets what they want. Yeah. So you want the product leadership to get these portfolio views so they can understand whether everything is going in the right direction. They can maybe course correct based on the strategy that they're setting, and they can also do all that project management work, like spotting these dependencies. I mean, we have customers that tell us like, figuring out the dependency map is like 80% of the work that we're doing, because it's so freaking complex what we're doing. Yeah. So it's literally like these people should be called dependency managers. That's what they do. So again, we cannot close our eyes and say handling dependencies is not part of the game here. And these portfolio roadmaps that kind of aggregate information from many teams in this kind of slice and dice fashion, they can really help find these dependencies and make these investment bets on where to go, what to fund. And it's just like magic when this is done in a very automated way where you don't have to do anything, and you keep the empowered product team with like these very unique, simplified spaces where they can move fast, as well as like give the leaders what they want in order to see the big picture.
Wow. That makes a lot of sense. And what have you seen slow people down when it comes to, let's say, multiple road mapping?
It's so many things. It's not having the data in one system. It's kind of moving everything to spreadsheets, or even worse, like locally hosted spreadsheets, and the left hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing. It's like all that manual stuff. And then you have like a roadmap for the development team, you have a roadmap for the stakeholders, you have a roadmap for the customers, and all of that is, in a sense, the same information visualized and communicated in a slightly different way. But what they do is they don't treat it as let's break this one thing into three in an automated way, but they do it over and over and again. It's super time consuming and error prone.
As we wrap up today, Malte, what are some common challenges you see with teams using, say, project management tools for road mapping, and how can they better align their tools with their strategic needs?
So the typical situation is our customers or prospects that don't have dedicated tooling yet, they use Jira or Azure DevOps, as you said, and then they try to do road mapping in there, but it's not really road mapping because it's just a bunch of features maybe put on a timeline that's in most definitions maybe a release plan, but not a roadmap. And road mapping is much more than that, right? You want to have like the strategic aspect on it. Ideally, you want to make sure the stuff that's on the roadmap is powered by customer insights. So long story short, these project management systems, Jira, Azure DevOps, and some others, they're great tools. We love them. We use them, but they're not made for product management and road mapping. And they're also not made to align different teams, or as they're called, like projects in Jira, different Jira projects. They are not meant to align all these in a way that other stakeholders also understand, because the C-level and the CRO, they are not going to log into Jira to check out what feature is going to come. They want this stuff to be like presented in a slightly different way. But I mean, maybe you can find workarounds around all of that in spreadsheets, and maybe you can also like reduce the effort here. But there's a lot of stuff that you should really, really do, and there's no way you can do that in spreadsheets, which is really centralize feedback from different places and make sure you connect it to your opportunities or your roadmap initiatives. And again, if you're not doing that, like how are you supposed to build what the business or the customer needs? It's very difficult. It's impossible, I would say. And so there's like this whole kind of word that's sitting in front before like delivery starts. Yeah, we're talking problem space, we're talking discovery, we're talking strategy, and these systems are simply not made for this. So if you're looking for tooling, I would not just like pick any tool. I would first start by looking at yourself, like where are you? How is your organization structured? What problems do you have? What do you need? It's like in a relationship, right? You want to understand who you are, who your like partner is, and then based on these like requirements, you want to approach the tooling topic. And yeah, what we see our customers really value these days is like simplicity. There's a bit of tool fatigue, and they're kind of afraid having another tool that forces them to fill out like 25 fields for a roadmap initiative where they really just want to have the name and maybe a status on that thing, as a start. And so kind of simplicity is also like one of the things that we are for some reason doing really well. So yeah, pick a toolbox that is able to adjust to your situation and helps you kind of have something ready tomorrow. I think that's a good way to put it. Yeah. So if you have like your feature roadmaps in Jira, tomorrow when you move to a tool like Air Focus that's more flexible, you will have all of that maybe in a non-X data roadmap powered by some customer insight that you pull in from your Zendesk or so. Yeah. So that's something that you can have tomorrow, and you have made a step to a more modern way of doing product management while still leaving the delivery and the task management in Jira.
And Malte, with these insights and strategies, you're ready to construct a towering success in your product management career with Malte's advice. So stay updated with Malte Scholz and his insights, and follow him on LinkedIn, where he shares a lot of great information. And if you're ready for more knowledge on product management, be sure to watch our interview with John Christian on how to successfully navigate the career maze of product management. This episode of Product Team Success has been brought to you in partnership with our friends at Amplitude. So from me, Ross Webb, until next time, bye for now.